Did you know there's two types of confident people? Two types of confident people. One type, which is temporary, short term, and another which is long term. And how do we break down the difference between the two so that you can have that long-term confidence? I'm gonna break it down for you in this video, but before we get into it, make sure that you click the subscribe button and you click on the bell icon or you won't know about future videos. This is the final video in a free course that I've made on my channel called Boundless. And it's about creating boundless charisma, boundless confidence, and getting rid of the crippling self-doubt, fear, nerves that is stopping you from being at your best and showing up powerfully every single day. So what is the difference? Well, there are two types of confidence: core confidence and situational confidence. I was talking to my good friend Mario. Go and check out his channel if you've never heard of him before. And we were talking about the difference between situational confidence and core confidence. Core confidence is that confidence that it transcends any situation. It affects you in every single place, behavior, environment that you're in, that you're always confident, you're cool, you're relaxed, you're like King T'Challa, which I talked about in one of my earlier videos, that you just take things in your stride. Even if it's losing the throne, or making a mistake and not speaking properly, or mumbling your words, or failing in an exam, you take it in your stride and you find a way forward. Well, how do you build that? And then you got situational confidence, which is, I'm good at one particular thing. I'm really good at drumming. And when I drum, I am the most confident, badass person in the world. But you ask me to talk to a stranger outside, ain't gonna happen. So what is the difference, and how do we create more of that core confidence that moves with you regardless of the situation that you're in? And think about it. There are situations in your life where you are more confident than in other areas. It's the same for me. If you ask me to do some ballet in front of 3,000 people, I'm gonna have some core confidence, but I'm not gonna have situational confidence. But you ask me to work with 50 of the most disruptive, challenging kids in the world, I'm all right. I've done it before. I have that core confidence. And if you develop that core confidence, like I said, you can take it from one situation into the next and the next and the next. Why? Why is this important? Well, you can't always plan what situation you're gonna be in. So let me get into it and not stall the video any longer. So the first tip is allocating the fucks that you give. I got this idea from Mark Manson in his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description down below. And it's basically this. Imagine you only had on a daily basis 5 really important fucks to give. And so when you're planning your day and you have different demands of you, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? Do you mind if you do me a favor here? If you only have 5 things that you can get done, go to the gym, write in your gratitude journal, meditate, do your work, and write your book. Those are the 5 things that you allocate your fucks to. So when you hear your colleague whining about where they are in life, or complaining about the politicians that they don't like, or the government, or the media, you name it, there's enough things to complain about in this world. You just allocate the fucks you give. Oh, sorry, I've run out. There's none left. It's not limitless, it's limited. And when you do this, it creates that kind of core confidence because you know what you care about and what you don't. And that kind of clarity is powerful. So think about it. Tell me in the comments below, what are the things that you care about, that you really want to give your time, your energy, and your effort to? The fucks that you give. Well, it could be climate change. It could be world hunger. It could be poverty. It could be changing the education system. Yes, I care about that. But do I care about the mess that my gardener's left in my garden, or this guy in the bus who's looking at me funny? Not really. I'm gonna go back to reading my book so I can learn, because that's what I do care about, and that is what I don't care about. Now, one of the mistakes that a lot of people make when it comes to trying to be more confident is they're always trying to scheme. They're always trying to find these little hacks that will help them to find the shortcut to finding the charisma that they want. Well, instead of focusing on the technique, the hack, and I get it, you want immediate results, focus on your attitude. Focus on your locus of control. What does that mean? It means there are 2 things in life. your external locus of control, things you can't control, and your internal locus of control. And when I say your attitude, what I mean is having a growth mindset, asking questions that are solution focused. So if you miss the train you were supposed to get on, or someone steals your backpack, this happened to me. They take all your equipment, a book that you wrote on holiday, all of your brand new MacBook, your brand new phone, your credit cards, your business cards. Well, I can't control that. It's been stolen. But what can I control? I can control my attitude in this situation. And when that happened to me and I realized, I just gave myself 3 seconds and I thought, Keshav, there's 2 ways you can react right now. You can panic and feel like you lost everything, or you can just put your hand in your pocket and realize, okay, I have a mobile phone, I have my Oyster card, and I have another debit card. I can get home. I can get food. I can get shelter. The fundamental things are covered. I'm safe. And that's what I mean when I say focus on your attitude, that your attitude is the system that will create the result that you want, behaving confidently. And so when people said to me in that situation, but you don't seem affected, I was like, I'm not. Someone took my bag, but they didn't take me. It doesn't have to mean something about me. I don't have to turn it into a story that I'm unreliable, or I don't know how to look after my stuff, or why did this happen to me, or I'm a victim. I'm not a victim. I own my reality. I decide. You decide how you want to feel, how you want to think, behave, become in any situation. So focus on your attitude and not the shortcut to success. Now, the next one builds on my previous point about attitude, and that is managing your self-talk. I said just now, thinking about the things you want to think about and avoiding the things you don't want to think about. Well, how do you control your thoughts? Let me give you the simple, straight answer. You don't. You choose them. You focus more through things like introspection, writing, meditating, dialogue, coaching, joining the Leadership Academy, things like these tools, these videos that are out here to help you do that, to have more of the stuff that you do want, and less of the things that you don't. And when you manage the mental movie that you're playing, the story of who you think you are, because if you think you're the bearded kid on an adventure, or the victim with hair loss and a hole in your beard, it's going to create very different feelings within you. It's going to rise up loads of cortisol, the stress hormone, or loads of dopamine, the feel-good hormone, the kind that gives you more ideas, that connects the neurons and the wiring in your brain. I can go deep into the psychology of it, but to keep it simple for you today, focus on the mental movie and changing it and choosing the story that you want to tell. And a really simple step is just writing down, if your life was a movie, what would the title be? Would it be a tragedy? Would it be a comedy? Would it be an adventure? Would it be an action-packed thriller? Is it about the story of a comeback? Because guess what? You are writing this story every single day, but guess what? As well, you're not aware of it. You're not choosing the story that you want to tell, but when you choose it, you're the one that's empowered. But when you're chosen, you're the one that's disempowered. So don't leave those things to chance, to the chimp that lives in your brain. And the final 2. The first one is your identity. Casual people, they become casualties in life. And challenging people, people who challenge themselves, they become gladiators, warriors, challengers in life. Which one are you? If you're the kind of person that is a warrior, not a worrier, when your backpack gets stolen, when life hits you hard, which it is going to do, it might have done right now, how are you going to respond? Are you going to be the champion that gets up again and asks, let me take one more step. Let me try one more time. Let me do one more rep. Let me do one more workout. Let me write one more sentence. Let me revise for another hour. Push a little bit more. Extract a little bit more from the natural resource that I am? Or are you going to be a casualty where you're just laid back, you're inconsistent, you're not choosing the thoughts that you want, the story that you want, and you're leaving it to chance? And when you leave it to chance, your mind is an excellent slave but a terrible master. We are emotional creatures, and so that emotion is what's going to drive the story of who you believe you are. Whereas when you use a bit of your cognitive abilities, your logic, your reason to write down, these are the reasons why people love me. These are the reasons why I need to keep going. I guarantee you, you can come up with 30, 50, 100. And I've sat down in coaching sessions with young adults who are at the peak and height of their career. And they're saying to me, I feel like a fake. I feel like I'm not confident. But I'm saying to them, look at all that you've achieved. You are someone in your workplace that everyone admires. You have an amazing smile. You seem confident to me. So where is the cognitive dissonance? Where is the gap? And I'll say to them, write down 30 reasons right now why you're a warrior, why you are confident. And they'll look at me like, what? I can't do that. I'm waiting. And when I force someone to do that, when you create that space for yourself, don't wait for somebody like me to interrupt your pattern of life and do that for you. Do it for yourself right now. Take action. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Write, comment down below. What is the identity that you have? And last, most important thing, the number one nugget of this course about creating boundless confidence. I want you to ingrain this thing, this quote, this spirit into your mind. Don't compare how somebody else looks on the outside with how you feel inside. We look at people like The Rock, like Grant Cardone, like Serena Williams, like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, like these great people who are succeeding, who are really competent at the things that we want to be successful in. And we compare how they look outside with how we feel inside. And it's damaging. It's damaging because you are different. It's damaging because your story is different. Who you are is different. You're on this planet for a specific reason. You were born unique, but don't die a copy of someone else that you just took from a moment in time where they seemed confident. Brené Brown, one of the most popular TEDx speakers in the world, has one of the most viewed TED Talks of all time. And when I read her book and I watched her TED Talk, I saw two completely different stories. In the TED Talk, which I'll link for you, she seems confident. It's the most viewed TED Talk of all time. In the book, when she writes about her experience, when Scott Dinsmore wrote about his experience doing a TED Talk, when I did my TED Talk, they all say the same thing. They felt intimidated by the speakers sitting next to them. Neuroscientists, astronauts, people tackling climate change, finding new vaccinations to save people from diseases. And I'm here to talk about procrastination. And my name's Tim, and I write a blog called Wait But Why. Brené Brown, all these different people, Tim Urban, they talk about the same thing, that how they felt at the time, it wasn't confident. And so sometimes we think that being brave is about being a certain way, behaving a certain way, looking a certain way, having your chest out and talking like this, letting everyone see that you have big pectoralis, whatever it's called, muscles. It's not about that. It's being relaxed. It's about being comfortable, competent, building your skills, knowing what you're going to say if you're going to speak, knowing what you're going to say if you're doing a cold call, knowing what you're going to say if you're pitching, knowing what you're going to say if you're talking to someone that you like. But ultimately, knowing how you feel on the inside and building, and I use this word very carefully, don't think it's just by chance. Building, you build brick by brick by brick, layer by layer. So you start at level 1, you go to level 2, building that core confidence. And that might start with situational, that good enough is good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect immediately, but you're aspiring to be the best version of you, not a copy of somebody else. Hope you guys enjoyed this course, and I have one more epic video. I'm gonna go outside to film it for you now on confidence and how you build that boundless charisma that you've always wanted. I hope you've enjoyed this course so far, and make sure you click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you know when I drop that video. See you guys soon. Peace.